Welcome, everybody.
Hi, good morning.
Welcome to day 2.
Yep, we'll get started officially in about 10 minutes. But glad to see you. And in the chat box, if you want to say where you're from, or if you attended panels yesterday, what's been your favorite part. I mean, just let us know a little bit if you've been partaking in the festival so far.
Or something you're looking forward to today.
All right. Hi, Tony. Great. Winona, lovely place. And yeah, that 4 o'clock the Q&A yesterday was great. I loved it. I thought it went really well. So glad that you can join the one today. Different authors, so a whole new group of people. And Tracy from Oregon. So again, glad to see you, Tracy. Glad that you can join us from Oregon. Yes, it's a beautiful day, isn't it, Kirsten? Hopefully people will still want to go online, even though it's so nice out. And Christine, yeah, I'm glad that you were with Matt with that conversation with Matt last night. Glad that you enjoyed it. I told you, he's really fun. He's really fun to talk to. I had the pleasure of talking to him a couple of times. We did kind of a pre-interview call, and then I did the interview with him. And yeah, I just found him so delightful. So I'm glad that we could have that event last night and that some of you could take part in it. And I know Becky was there as well, Becky Novak. So I'm glad that you liked it today, or liked it yesterday. Buffalo, Minnesota. Chris is there again. Yeah, I thought the author Q&A went really well too, Chris. So I'm sure today's with the whole new roster of authors should be really good too. It was a good way to do it. Allison in St. Paul. Yeah, the authors from the past. So that airs at 11. The link will be available then. And it's actually a panel that we did with them 2 years ago at the book festival. So you'll see me again there. And I think I might be wearing the same shirt. Now that I think about it, I think I might be. So it'll look brand new, even though it was 2 years ago. My hair might be different though. Yeah, Matt's great. I read his first book just to prepare for the interview, and I thought it was so much fun. I normally don't read detective novels. It's just really not my genre. Not that I don't like them. It's just I don't really have an excuse to read.
Not your first pick.
Yeah, right. But I mean, it would be pretty hard to give me a book and I'd be like, oh, I really hated that. But I really liked it. And he does have a very strong character there, his main character of Neil Shapiro. So I would absolutely read his other ones. I'll put them on my list. Good writer and just all around good guy. And Dana's in the Mankato Library. I think I remember meeting you last year, Dana. So I'm glad that you could join us today. And thanks.
And if you did miss any of those sessions yesterday, they are the panels and everything are available to watch kind of at any time. So be sure to don't just focus on today's schedule. Check out what you missed yesterday. I know the live Q&A, I think the plan is eventually to have that on our YouTube as well. I don't think it's there yet, but definitely keep an eye out for that down the road.
Marty shared her email. If people are interested in forming a writers group, this is a great way to do it, Marty. I mean, that's exactly how you try to find other people who are writing and who might want to share their work is an event like this. where people
Yeah,
can
Marty's
have
one of
their
our
book.
authors. She was on the Q&A yesterday. So.
Yeah. So if anyone's interested in a writing group, Marty's put her contact information out there. You can also find more information about Marty and all of our other festival authors on the author directory on the DeepValley Book Festival website as well. And Tammy, I think you're the Tammy I went to high school with, right? Because I think I've met you at the other book festivals. So if that's the case, hi again, Tammy. I'm glad that you could come today, or to the virtual event, and I know that you've been there other years as well. Is Julie attending today? I'm sure she's somewhere. I'm not sure if she's going to be in this live session or where she'll be out and about today to try to answer your question there, Dana. Darren from Dodge Center. Yes. I'm glad you could join us today, Darren. Thank you. And I'm glad you could be one of our authors. I think what do we have, Danelle? Like over 50 authors or
Yeah.
50
Yep.
authors?
Yep.
Yeah. So I think more than in other years, it's a little bit easier, I think, for authors to take part this year when it's virtual. And Tony, I think I remember you saying that yesterday. If you want to share which books you put in requested for your library, I'm just kind of curious which ones piqued your interest yesterday. And Michelle, Massachusetts, welcome. Yeah, that's, to learn about authors that you're not familiar with, that's definitely a thing that we really want to emphasize here at the book festival, because these are, generally they're Minnesota authors. We have been able to expand that just because it's virtual, but it is a really good way to find new authors, people you're not familiar with, and that to be read pile, I completely empathize, sympathize. Mine is growing too. It's just, I can't quite read as fast as those books pile up. Yeah, and Dana, working at a library, thank you so much. I mean, thank you for attending, and on behalf of authors, thank you for attending an event like this and being able to think about books that you might want to add to the library collection. We absolutely depend on that for authors, or as authors. And Tammy, yep, it's the right Tammy that I'm thinking about. Go Blue Jays. And Tracy had a question about the festival when it's live. So I think, Tracy, last year we probably had around 40 authors, and we had really great attendance last year. Was it around 500, Danelle?
Sounds about right.
Yeah, that number sticks in my head, which I think was probably one of the better attended festivals that we had, since we've been doing this regularly the past 5 years. Kind of depends on the weather. I know that there's been a couple of festivals that were held just on gorgeous, beautiful, wonderful fall Saturday weekends, and you can't really blame people for going to the apple orchard or trying to find, the leaves, looking at colors. So when it's rainy, and last year was rainy, when it's rainy, our attendance tends to be a little bit better. So if only we can maybe request a forecast or something, then we would know when to hold this. And Paula's from Northwest Illinois. Yep, saw your name yesterday. So thanks for joining us again, Paula.
Yeah, we've got some stats from Kirsten there, kind of she's done a lot of work on our website and kind of the technology stuff. So over 600 viewers, 1,100 page views, book sales. So yeah.
Awesome. That's great. That's great to know. Great to have those stats. Susan was talking about the paper dolls. Yeah, I mean, I kind of can't stop talking about the paper dolls. So it was the illustrator panel. So if you go on the website, you'd be able to see the illustrator panel from yesterday. But one of the illustrators on that panel does paper dolls. Like, she illustrates paper dolls for paper doll books, which I'd never really thought about the people who did that. So it looks like Susan bought 7 paper doll books yesterday. I think I'll be checking those out too, especially the new one that's forthcoming that this particular illustrator is doing is from the Betsy Tacy book. So she's doing a Betsy Tacy paper doll book. So I think that would be just lovely to have and lovely to get. Susan's Northfield. Oh, Christine, thank you so much. Thanks for buying my book. Oh. My book's over 7 years old now. So I feel like anytime somebody kind of finds it now, I'm always really happy because I just think, it's in 7 years, a lot of books have come out and, older books tend to get kind of pushed aside. So thank you so much for buying that. I really appreciate that. Oh, good. Yeah, those stats are great as far as who's all selling books, and that's wonderful. That's exactly what we want to hear. Susan, great history panel, which Danelle was nice enough to moderate that. I did not get a chance to see that yet, so I'll be looking at that. But I did share it with my history colleagues at MSU because I thought it would be a great video to share with classes, and let people know that, oh yeah, you can write about history. Get some books.
Yeah, and I was thinking about we had a fun selection in there. We had some that were more the historic novels and some that were a little bit more like personal, a little bit more memoir, and then just kind of some general history. So yeah, it was a fun mix of authors, kind of the different ways that you can use history. So
yeah, right. And it's like no matter what you're writing, whether it's fiction or nonfiction, if you want to be true to history, you still have to do your research and get it right. Well, thanks everyone for sharing some comments there in the chat box. I'm actually going to get started with our announcements that we have today. So I'll just go through a few announcements and then we'll do drawings for books. Do we have 8 today, Danelle?
I think that sounds about right.
Okay.
Yeah. So stick around. So we do you do have to be present on in the webinar chat here or whatever to win. So don't leave early.
Yep, don't leave early. And so I just want to welcome everybody to day 2 of the 5th edition of the DeepValley Book Festival. Obviously, we're doing it virtually this year. I'm Rachael Hanel, member of the planning committee, along with Danelle Erickson, also a member of the planning committee. And on behalf of the entire committee, I'm just really happy that you've joined us today. And if you had joined us yesterday, thank you so much. Or if you're just joining us for the first time today, welcome. Thank you for being here. Before I tell you more about today's schedule, I just want to give some shout outs to people who make this event possible. So on the rest of the planning committee, we have Julie Schrader, who is the festival director, Marianne Carlson, Sandy Garlow, Kirsten Hall, Jill Fisher, and Jennifer Jensen. Brad Farr is helping us out with the technical support and making sure things are running smoothly on that end. And our sponsors as well. These can be cash donations or in-kind donations. The Loft Literary Center, Minnesota Heritage Publishing, the Mankato Free Press, Fox Point Publishing, the Blue Earth County Historical Society, Corporate Graphics, Mankato Life Magazine, Purple Porchlight Productions, J Graphics, and GSR Fine Art Festival. Also, this activity is made possible by the voters of Minnesota through a grant from the Prairie Lakes Regional Arts Council, thanks to a legislative appropriation from the Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. We also have several festival friends, and I'm going to name them. This might be an incomplete list because I think we had some people join us yesterday. So for $25, you can be a festival friend. Last night, we did have an exclusive event with featured author Matt Goldman that was open up to festival friends. But just be sure to know that even if now you decided to become a festival friend, there are some perks associated with that. And just this idea that you're supporting the literary arts. You're supporting readers, you're supporting authors. This event is totally free and open to the public. We plan to keep it that way. We're a volunteer committee. So any money that we get goes directly back to running the festival. So festival friends that we have as of yesterday morning, Sarah Beeren, Jill Fisher, Ann Hawks. And let me turn my page. I got a blank page here. Marty Meyer-Gadd, Sandy Garlow, Nick Healy, Gordon D. Kaplan, Jeffrey and Patty Matthews, Myrna Mibus, Rebecca Novak, Christine Oldenburg, Bryce Stencil, Susan Wagenhals, and Tracy's personal training. And I know some of those festival friends are here this morning, so thank you so much for that support of being a festival friend. If you're interested in supporting us, just go to the website and you can find out more information about how to become a festival friend. You can just purchase everything just right online there. It's really quick and easy. So thank you.
And I put the link in the chat, so that 2020 sponsors link that will bring you to the page to be a festival friend. And I know all the festival friends are being put, all the names are being put into a drawing for a fabulous gift book bag. I think it's over, Julie sent me the info this morning. It's over $225 worth of books in that prize pack. So that's we'll be at the end of the festival. We'll be drawing one winner for that fabulous prize pack from all of our festival friends of $25 or more. So
yeah, it's growing. So
it
that
has,
is
yeah.
the perk today to still
Yes.
sign up to be a festival friend, that we do have that big prize drawing that will happen at 5 o'clock. And for that, you don't need to be present to win. We'll just make that drawing out of all of the people. Who
But much
are,
more exciting if you're part
well,
of the
of
call.
course.
And we
Yeah,
pick
you
your
can
name.
celebrate and scream and do all sorts of great things. So what I'll do is talk a little bit about the schedule today. And hopefully I can share my screen. Yep, here we go. So the schedule today will kick off at 11 o'clock with our first panel, which is the Minnesota Writers from the Past. And what will happen is basically about 15 minutes before each panel starts, you'll have a link that will take you to the panel. So Minnesota Authors from the Past at 11. The Young Writers and Artists Competition Awards. I just want to give a special shout out to that. I was one of the judges. I put the video together. It's a slideshow of all of the young people who won awards, and there's pictures of them with their certificates, and they are just so cute because they are just so happy and so thrilled, to have entered a writing contest or entered a drawing contest, and they won. So we just hope that this is something that will inspire them to keep creating. And we've always had this competition as part of the festival, and it's really important for us to support the young creative people who are out there. Children's book panel, The Road to Publishing. So if you're interested in getting published yourself, or you think you're writing right now and you kind of wonder how does that work to eventually get published, we have a lot of great information on that particular panel. Fantasy and sci-fi writers going on at 3 o'clock. The live event, 4 o'clock with festival authors. And then the 5 o'clock, we'll have the closing. So with those live events, just like you did for this one, just go ahead and get to that registration link if you already haven't, and we'll be able to send you the Zoom link. And again, we'll continue to have drawings and giveaways for those live events. And if you go to the schedule, you'll also see the children's programming. So just know that that's available all day. So if you have little kids in your life, little kids are around, and you want to have some video readings or that kind of thing, lots of really great books. I mean, Betsy Tacy, Millions of Cats, all sorts of more newer modern books as well. So lots to choose from there for the children's programs. And please also take a look at the author directory. So if you have been encountering authors through the panels, through the live discussions, and you want to know more about them, just know that you can click on any of their pictures and get more information about them, their books, where to get their books, contact information, all of those things. So definitely go to the website to get all of that information about what's coming up today.
Yeah, and a few things to add to what Rachel, with that author directory too. A lot of the authors are offering sales kind of in connection with the book festival. So keep an eye out for sales. Who doesn't love a book on sale? I mean, that's pretty awesome. And then also in connection with the young writers, the anthology, we've put together all of the stories, and that anthology will be available as a PDF that will be available later today. I believe that will be on potentially with the schedule. I guess I'm not sure if you can't find it. Yeah, it's got a note from Julie about noon. That's going to be posted. So keep an eye out for that, so you can read all of those fabulous stories from those kids.
Yeah, I would highly recommend that.
Yeah, and then lastly, so because we will be updating that schedule kind of throughout the day, just be sure that you refresh it on your browser so that you see when those new links become available for the panelists and things.
Which I don't think I had done. I was on the schedule about a half an hour ago. And also, if you are in the Mankato area, the artwork will be on display at the Blue Earth County Library starting tomorrow. So you could see the young artists, the work that they did, and also we'll have the stories there too in a binder. So if you find yourself at the library and just want to browse through the stories or see the art, you know, in person, that's where you can do that starting tomorrow. So I think that's all I have for the announcements, if we want to get to the fun part of doing some drawings.
Yeah, give me one moment here to get.
Sure. Just to let you know too, I'm going to put this in the chat box, hashtag. So if you're on social media, go ahead and use the hashtag DVBF 2020. I've been tweeting like mad. So if anybody's on Twitter, I've been tweeting out the links to the programs and other things related to the festival. So please do that if you're able to.
Absolutely. So yes, again today, like yesterday, if you joined us, we've got a lot of fabulous books here that authors have offered as prizes. So we have got those drawings coming up here. So bear with me one moment.
Of course.
All right, and so yesterday we had a few different times where we had some multiple winners, which is great, but at the same time, we also want to get everybody as involved in those winnings as we can. So we are kind of today, we are going to limit you to 2 books to win today. So just to kind of give you a heads up there. And then also to claim your prize, you will need to email our contact address, which I will put in the chat. So contact@deepvalleybookfestival.com. So if your name is called if your name is picked, send an email to that with your name and mailing address, and we will take care of getting that book to you. And then lastly, I will kind of, as we go along, I'm going to be putting the link for the book. So if you're curious on what the author is or what book somebody won or what you won, just that you can have that link to go check out that author page. So I think, did I cover everything?
I think so. And just note too that, you know, we have, I think it's 3 minutes until 11. We have that panel starting at 11, but because it's pre-recorded, you can go onto YouTube at any point and start watching that. So you don't have to tune in right at 11. So stick around in case you win.
All righty. So we've got our first book today. We've got one of Matt Goldman, his first novel.
Yeah,
so
this will be a lucky person. Like I said, I read it. I read Gone to Dust and just really enjoyed it a lot. So I think.
All right, Christine Lenke. Got 2 Christines on the list, so make sure we get the last names in there.
She's here.
All right. I think most of them should be here. I edited the list before I stuck it. So,
good.
All right. The next book, got one from Jonathan Sweet. So there's Pulp Under the Wraps.
Okay. Yeah, Jonathan has his own publishing company. He writes about baseball. He also is really into the pulp fiction, which is such a kind of cool.
Yeah, Chris Oldenburg. And next up, one from Jerry Hines.
Yes, wahoo indeed, Chris.
All right, AJ Sullivan.
AJ. Congratulations.
And kind of a 2-book pack from Julie Schrader, a couple Mott Hart Lovelace ones. I have both of these books. They're great fun, lots of history in there and stuff going on. So we'll give it a spin. And Tony.
All right. I think Tony won yesterday too. Yay.
My voice doesn't like me here. There we go. All right. Next up from Paula. And she's in on the call. We'll see if she wins her own book. Nope.
If you run low, you know, sometimes that could be good.
All right, Allison.
Allison, I think Allison won yesterday too. Some lucky streaks here.
Yeah, all right. We've got 2 copies of Catherine's book here, Michael and the Elf. So we'll give it a couple spins.
Okay.
My screen decided to leave me. There we go. So the first winner is Joy Riggs.
Oh, yay. Yay, Joy.
And Susan. Oh, we had a couple Susans, I think, on the call. So.
Yep, Susan
All
Wagenhals.
Right. Excellent. All right, and then next book from Carmen. The suspense.
Yeah, it is.
Tammy.
Oh, Tammy. Congratulations, Tammy.
All right, and one book by Mary Ann Waldron. I think this is a newer book that Julie has worked to put out, if I understand right. Hopefully I got that right, Julie.
Yeah.
Mary Ellen.
Mary Ellen. I think she was a winner yesterday too.
Yeah. And lastly, we've got a DeepValley Book Festival tote bag. So I've got my copy here. So one of those away. And also, oh, you're seeing my screen. Here's a link. So if anybody is looking to purchase the bags, we do have them for sale on the website. So, and one last spin.
Tammy, I think it was a book by Carmen Tribbett Tassi, and I can repost that link too.
And Chris Oldenburg will also get a tote bag.
All right, a book and a tote bag.
All right, well, that's what we've got today for this morning, kind of the kickoff, I think. Anything more, Rachel, or any questions from anybody that you've got?
Danelle, if you just want to paste again in the chat box that the book by Carmen Tribbett Tassi, Tammy was just wondering which book she won. So if you just want to paste that again. Yeah, any last questions? We are happy to answer any questions that you might have about today's schedule or anything else going on today. Otherwise
head over to the website and poke around, and
you can get
lots
started
going
on your day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thanks for that information, Kirsten. Looks like a cute book. Yeah, thank you, Darren. Thanks for being part of this today. Yeah, thanks, Chris. Yeah, I think it will be an awesome day to look forward to. Lots of good panels there too. All right, well, it looks like that's about it. So we hope to see you at the other live events today, the live Q&A at 4 o'clock, and then the closing announcements at 5 o'clock. So again, those live events will have drawings again, and a chance for you to interact with the authors at 4 o'clock. All right, well, thank you so much and enjoy the day. We'll see you later.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.